Hey guys, I hope you're well. UFC 219 was a very interesting night of fights, where we saw a night of dominant performances from top to bottom. It was a great card to end the year. In this video, I'm quickly going to review all the fights on the card and give my thoughts. I appreciate your feedback from the last video, and I appreciate your continued support. Okay, let's begin. Tim Elliott defeated Marc DeRosa by an anaconda choke in the second round. Tim Elliott started the first round with immediately engaging in the grappling department, where he was able to take the fight to the ground. He almost found himself in an armbar, but managed to escape. He also attempted a guillotine choke at the end of the first round. In the second round, both fighters went back to the grappling, where he managed to pull off an amazing anaconda choke, forcing the tap. Overall, it was a great display of high-level grappling by Tim Elliott, where he was able to give Marc DeRosa his first professional loss. I predicted that Tim Elliott would win this fight by unanimous decision, and it will be interesting to see how he progresses through the flyweight division after this victory. Okay, moving on. Matthias Nicolau defeated Smolka by unanimous decision. Matthias Nicolau started the first round with great footwork and movement, where he was able to drop Smolka with the solid left hook and finish the first round dominantly. Matthias Nicolau was able to dominate the second and third rounds, landing heavy shots and even got a takedown in the third. Overall, it was a very impressive performance by Matthias Nicolau, where it will be interesting to see how he progresses in the flyweight division. I predicted that Smolka would win by a unanimous decision, but Matthias Nicolau done a great job to get the W. And moving on, Marvin Vettori faced Magomedov, where the fight was ruled a majority draw. Now this fight was a great back and forth fight. Magomedov was throwing wild looping hooks and was landing clean shots, wobbling Marvin Vettori. Marvin Vettori took Magomedov's best shots and came back near the end of the fight. Overall, it was a decent fight and was too close to call. My original prediction was Magomedov winning by a unanimous decision, but this fight could have gone either way. Okay, moving on. Miles Jury defeated Rick Glenn by unanimous decision. Miles Jury looked excellent in this fight, where he displayed great striking and evasive skills. He was able to land clean strikes and showed great footwork, which helped him dominate the 3 rounds. I believe this fight was a big jump up in competition for Rick Glenn, who wasn't able to implement his game plan. Miles Jury looked excellent in this fight, where it will be interesting to see how he progresses in the featherweight division. I got this prediction right. I said Miles Jury would win by unanimous decision. Overall, it was a very dominant performance. Yeah, next fight. Michel Olasheshek defeated Khalil Roundtree Jr. by unanimous decision. Khalil Roundtree came out too hard, too fast, where he was just trying too much to get the knockout victory and gassed himself out. This is where Michel Olasheshek was able to weather the storm and survive the first round. Michel Olasheshek picked up the pace in the second and third rounds, where he looked fluid in his movements and his combinations. Khalil Roundtree just got slower and slower over the rounds and had no gas left in the tank. Overall, it was a great UFC debut for Michel Olasheshek, and it was a very dominant performance. I thought Khalil Roundtree would get the knockout victory because of his last 2 fights, but Michel Olasheshek proved me wrong with the dominant performance. Okay, moving on to the main card. Magny defeated Condit by unanimous decision. A very impressive performance by Magny. He was able to close the distance and repeatedly took Condit down throughout the rounds. He used his length to quickly close the distance and was able to grab onto Condit. He was able to pressure Condit and didn't allow him to do anything. I believe ring rust may have played a factor in Condit's comeback, but Magny had a great game plan against a dangerous fighter like Condit, where he will likely move Magny up the welterweight rankings. I got this prediction wrong. I thought Condit would win, but Magny put on a dominant performance. Okay, Carla Esparza defeated Cynthia Calvillo by unanimous decision. Cynthia Calvillo was able to take Carla Esparza down early in the first round and was able to land some great ground and pound. In the second and third rounds, it seemed that Cynthia Calvillo became more relaxed, where Carla Esparza was able to take her down briefly, but Cynthia Calvillo was able to pop back up to her feet. Both ladies kept the fight on the feet, where it was a very close fight. In my opinion, when the decision was announced, I thought that Cynthia Calvillo done enough to get the decision victory, but Carla Esparza was given the win. Overall, both ladies performed very well, and it will be interesting to see how both ladies progress in the strawweight division. I got my prediction wrong. I thought Cynthia Calvillo would win by a split decision, but it was a very close fight. Okay, moving on. Dan Hooker defeated Marc by a guillotine choke in the third round. Both fighters started off very slow, where Dan Hooker was getting the better of the striking exchanges. It seems as though Dan Hooker won the first and second rounds, where he was the more active fighter. In the third round, Marc started to chase Dan Hooker down and was throwing wild overhand rights, in which he was very successful, and I believe he was doing very well. But he randomly went for a takedown, in which Dan Hooker sunk in a beautiful guillotine choke, which forced the tap immediately. The way he got the submission was amazing, and overall, it was a great performance by Dan Hooker. I predicted that Marc would win by a unanimous decision, but Dan Hooker done an excellent job in securing the submission victory. In the co-main event, Khabib Nurmagomedov defeated Barboza by unanimous decision. This fight was just a one-sided beatdown, as everyone expected. The thing that surprised me the most, that Khabib stood in the pocket with Edson and was striking working with him, which was very impressive. Khabib managed to take the fight to the ground many times and tied Edson Barboza up and just put a one-sided beating on him. This was one of the most dominant performances by Khabib up to date. Edson Barboza is a dangerous top 5 lightweight, but Khabib made him look like an amateur. Khabib is a terrifying force in the lightweight division, but I can't see anyone defeating him right now. Overall, one of the best performances by Khabib, and it will be interesting to see how he progresses in the lightweight division. Okay, moving on to the main event. Cyborg defeated Holm by unanimous decision. Holm started the fight off very well, where she was using her movement and landing combinations on Cyborg, but Cyborg was the most patient fighter who would wait for Holm to come in and landed heavy shots which rattled Holm. Holm was repeatedly doing the same combinations over and over again. Cyborg was able to land the most devastating shots and cause the most damage. Holm was also able to land good shots of her own, which cut up Cyborg. Overall, it was a great performance by both ladies, who put on a great show for the fans. Even though Holm lost, everyone should appreciate her stepping up to face the most dominant female on the planet, where no one was stepping up to face her. I got my prediction wrong again. I thought Holm would win by unanimous decision, but a great performance by Cyborg. UFC 219 was a very interesting card. So what do you guys think of UFC 219? Let me know in the comment section below. And also, I'll be releasing another video titled 10 fights to make after UFC 219, so stay tuned for that. I honestly appreciate you guys supporting this channel and for your kind words. It really means a lot to me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.